Well, that was weird. All right, here. Tweet, share, and post. Okay. We are so in business. Oh, Ms. Sarah, how lucky I am to have you, the mask maker. Sarah Rook Ruck Rutch, maker of masks, first among women. Mask maker, I say. Yeah, people are like, hey, isn't supposed to be free Patreon Friday? Now we're doing a Thursday because I'm hard up for things to talk about. So here we go.
And now, here's a guy who got tired of being fired by corporate radio. So he took up being fired by Patreon subscribers instead. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast.
All right, thank you very much, Johnny. I appreciate you. Here we go. It's an Ask Me Anything. Free Patreon. Ask Me Anything. Anything at all. Whatever it may be, I'd love to hear from you. If you're new to how we do this, you're looking at the comments. Adam, is that Rocky, Adam? Is that Adam Rocky? Saying hi to me? All right. Man, yeah, go ahead and leave me a question in the comments on the live stream, okay? Whatever you want. Ask me any question. Make it as stupid or trivial as you want. Make it as juicy as you want. I mean, let's be honest here. It seems like everywhere I've gone, there's been a trail of destructiveness that have been like, hey, what the fuck happened there, man? I demand an explanation. Go ahead, ask me. I'll tell you straight up as best I can. There are some things I just can't talk about legally. Things that I have even spoken about before, but that was a bad decision on my part to do that, okay? So, I mean, there are just some things I can't talk about, but very, very few. Very, very few. The only way I would not talk about something is if I was in some type of legal jeopardy to do so. But otherwise, ask me whatever the fuck you want. And I know for a fact that there are going to be people that are paying attention to this podcast, this live stream, like, oh yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to ask about this because I got a real problem with this. Or by all means, please do. You are welcome to do that. This is an open door policy. Okay, ask me anything. So I've got a number of folks that are on here. If you also want to ask me a question in private, you can send it along to eric@ericzaneshow.com. No question is stupid. No question is bad. Everything is fair. Please, the floor is yours. Ask me whatever you want. Kenny, got to start with Kenny. God love Kenny. For a guy who gets beaten up as much as Kenny does, it is fine for him to ask the first question. Are there any stories that you couldn't share in the past on radio that you can think of that you could share on your podcast that you on the podcast that you have not yet? No, I off the top of my head, I think I've pretty much anything that I haven't been able to share. If I have been able to share it, I'd share it. The only time I wouldn't share something is if I put myself in danger or could really, really hurt someone. That is not the goal here. The goal is to just try to answer anything that's burning on your brain. But in the event that there could be danger to me or something that would hurt another person, now believe me, there are people that I want to hurt, okay? Make no mistake. The ones that I would be hurting, I want to hurt them. but it just wouldn't be right. It just would not be right. So there you go. All right. Sarah says, how much toilet paper you guys going through? I'm the only girl here, and I'm using 1 roll per 5 days. Seriously, yes, I was keeping track. I just write the date on the empty roll. 1 roll for 5 days is a lot. You're a very drippy woman. My God. I mean, I don't see why women should use so much. You really don't need to wipe, frankly. It's so what? Guys pee in their pants every time they go pee. So if a lady is sitting there and she's on the toilet and she's sitting down. By the way, women can pee standing up if they do the old stretchy thing. Have you ever seen video of a woman peeing standing up? It's totally possible. But you're trained to do it seated. I don't know why you don't do it standing. It's so much easier. Anyway, if a woman is hovering and she just kind of like bounces up and down like she's twerking, she's going to be able to shake all the urine off, most of it. And then whatever's left over, it just goes into her panties. I mean, guys do it all the time. What the hell's the big deal? I think you're wasting money. Andrea says, gross, dude. Let's see. Let me start at the top here. There's already a lot of chatter here on the Ask Me Anything. Yeah, tomorrow is Good Friday. Boy, my Holy Week has just been horrible because of I kind of keep forgetting that it is Holy Week, which makes the GD I dropped yesterday even worse. All right, I don't know what is going on here. Nick writes, I'm telling you, Eric, you got to see what I believe. I don't know what you see. Nick, who would you rather be stuck with on a deserted island? O.J. Simpson or Carol Baskin from Tiger King? Carol Baskin. I would rather be stuck with her because that would be somebody to have sex with. That is Adam Rocky, who is joining us. Who is, if you are new to the Patreon, if you're not a regular, you just get the freebie, which is fine. Just so you know, there's usually a lot more interaction and stuff. It's a different animal on Patreon. And the podcast, the daily Patreon bonus, is just the tip of the iceberg these days with the fun we're going to have. I cannot wait till tomorrow's Fear Bunker Trivia Challenge. And I got to dig into Zoom today because I'm pretty sure that what we're doing can be streamed as it happens. Now, it's fun to watch it, but it's even more fun to play the trivia, the Fear Bunker Trivia Challenge. So another good reason to sign up on Patreon. But welcome, Adam. Let's see. Masks. Sarah's talking about the masks. She sent me some badass masks. I appreciate that. Take the day off for Good Friday, Eric. No way, man. Come on. Good Friday is my favorite podcast of the year. That's when we play the game, What Can You Build with 3 nails and 2 pieces of wood challenge. I probably shouldn't have said that. Now, come on. Rob, hold on a second. What is your biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve, I think right now, is talking during a film. Any movie that I'm watching around my house, if anybody talks during the movie, I'm like, stop. If you talk during the film, you're missing shit that the person who made the film wants you to see. And if you miss that shit, more than likely, 5 minutes later, you're going to say, why is he doing that? What's going on? It's like, well, you weren't watching, so now you don't know. Now I got to pause it and explain it to your ass. The spell of the movie is like the spell of the book. When the story is being presented to you and you suddenly have to be distracted from what the professional storyteller is doing to you because of your ass fighting with your sister, that's a problem. I hate that. That's my current biggest pet peeve. Right up there is smacking of gum and people who chew gum or chew their food with their mouths open. You freaking pig. Knock it off. Let's see here. Keep the questions coming, please. This isn't Ask Me Anything. I have a bunch in the queue, but I want to see what's top of mind. If I missed your question earlier, send it again. I don't want to be searching. Eric, Master Sergeant Eric, writes, are you familiar with the you can only keep 3 memes going around? If you could only keep Ben, Julius, or Greg. So I'm not familiar with it, but I would have to choose. If I could choose 1, 2, or 3, well, Greg, hands down. I would absolutely choose Greg. Come on, that's not even that's such a one-sided affair. As one of the most talented people on the planet is Greg, and I had a dozen plus good years with Greg. Yeah, got a little crispy at the end, but that's all. For me, I am forgetting those bad years and bad moments. I only hope and pray that he is too. It's. I have long ago dropped the negativity surrounding that. Water under the bridge to me. I hope that they all feel the same way, or if not, one day do too. Yeah, Ben and Julius comparing. I mean, if I had to choose, oh God, it is such. Let's do Ben and Julius. I would choose Ben over Julius. That's a good thing. Ben versus I would absolutely choose. Julius is. No, I would choose Ben. I'll just leave it at that. Jason says, I ran into Freebeer a while back with his boys at Chick-fil-A. I didn't say anything because he was with his boys, but he seemed awkward. Do you get like that in public? No, that is, that doesn't sound like Greg to me. Maybe he felt that way or maybe something was going on. Greg's always seemed to be very accommodating to people when he meets them in public. So I don't know. But for me, oh my God, are you kidding me? I live for interacting with people when I'm out. That is, especially for me, when the career in one, in like radio just goes funk down, to be where I am now and someone even remembers me is such a blessing. That tells me that there is hope, frankly. And then even better, because I'm so insecure, I'll say, so, hey, yeah, somebody will recognize, like Barry over at Zealand Lumber. He recognized me, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I go, well, and I have to ask. I'm always concerned. Well, I do a podcast because I'm so insecure that no one listens. And he's like, oh, no, I listen all the time. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. That's the way it is these days for me. I'm pretty pathetic. Whatever. So that's good. Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Jason. All good questions. I'm not. I think Nick might be stoned to the bone. He's texting me all sorts of weirdo shit. Alan from Blue Frost IT says, what's the name of the program that streams multiple platforms at once? OBS, I believe is the name of that one. Hang on. Hold on a second. I'm totally distracted. OBS Studio. That's what you want to look up, my man. He texted that to me. I don't even know if he's on the live stream. All right, sorry. I'm totally losing track here. Nick writes, I still believe the movie. I sent you a link to the trailer. I don't know what you're talking about. What the hell are you talking about? Sarah, all right, I got to go. Taking a donation to Pilgrim Manor Nursing Home. That Sarah she really gets a star on the forehead. Blue Ribbon, she has been nonstop making masks for people. Sarah Rook Rutch. Rob, did you ever try tracking down the crazy Meyer lady? Yeah, I did, but and I actually did, was successful, but she suffers from a severe case of what do you call it? Manic depression, obsessive compulsive. I mean, she runs the whole gamut, and it would not be a pretty sight at all. It wouldn't be good at all. Kenny, I totally agree with your pet peeves. Oh my God. Let's see. Let's get a question here. I hate small talk or any external noise during the show. They all agree. Where are my royalty payments for coming up with Dear Meathead? This is the guy, D. Torres. No, just dropping in to show some love. Thanks for keeping the show alive through the years, Zane. That person right there, I remember it now, is the one who said, you should have your dad on every week and do like a Q&A thing with him. Thank you. Kenny's still very upset at Greg, not getting over it. A couple more comments. Come on, let's get some questions, guys. Oh my God. Come on, guys. All right, it's a lot of comments amongst the group, but I think I'm going to have to come up with another way. I'll let those build up because I still have more questions from Melinda. Melinda just sent me a bunch of questions. So she what she does in Tennessee is she saves them up, writes them down, and then when I do these sessions, she then sends me the email. So add them to the live stream, and also if you want to send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Eric, question 1. What was your first job and salary? Okay, let's go with the first job, the actual job I had. The first job I actually had, I was a paper boy. And I delivered the Macomb Daily newspaper. And I can still remember the route. Like if I went back to that neighborhood, I could tell you who gets a paper and who doesn't. And then the way you do it is for like a week's worth of newspapers, Monday through Saturday. There's no Sunday. You get billed for those papers. And usually for the cost of those papers, it's like $60 or $70 for a week's worth of papers. And then you collect from each person door to door. It cost them $1.25 for the paper. Collect, they pay you cash. And then after you meet the bill, everything left over is yours. So, with tips, you're making $50, $60 a week. And I was 11. So, I mean, that's a lot of jack. And my dad and mom used to make me put it all into a savings account. And I think by the time I was like 15, I had like several $1,000s saved up. And so my dad and my mom were so proud of that. And but I wasn't having it. I wanted to spend every penny of that money. So one day I figured out how to access the bank account, and I got my first car. Actually, it was my second car. It was the Pontiac Catalina. And I went and took that money and blew it on, I had a dual exhaust installed. I bought a set of Krager rims and some nice BF Goodrich Radial TA tires with the white letter out. Oh my God. And just, I had it painted. I did all this shit to the car and nobody knew it. My dad wasn't at home. He didn't live there. My mom, and she doesn't have any idea what the hell's going on. So I spent all this cheddar on the car, this pimped out Catalina. That's why I wrote a song about it. And then the rest of it, I bought it I spent it on Adidas jumpsuits so I could look like Run DMC or the Beastie Boys. Holy shit. I blew every dollar of that money. First job, first salary. Radio job was at that radio station in Saginaw, Z93, $5 an hour. Holy shit. All right. Where am I? Are you going to post the Slaughter the Turks Armenian meatballs recipe? Damn it. I'm going to write it down now. Every month, I reach out to Pellerito and I say, send me the link to the recipe. Recipe post. Yes, I will. All right. I figured it out what Nick wants. He wants me to watch a movie called I Still Believe. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Favorite products from Aldi. Oh, my God. All of the products from Aldi. Everything Aldi. Man, does that store make me happy. Linda Hall, why do you think they changed Dumber Than Zane trivia to Dumber Than the Show? Do you think they were getting set up for you being kicked off the show? Nope. No, I don't think that's at all. That is the case at all. It might have been, but I don't think that. Kevin, when you're with your family out in public, how do you react to you getting recognized by someone? Well, kind of like what I was leading to earlier, I smile and feel happy. To me, I've always loved that. Getting recognized by someone is something I've always felt great about, because in a business where the day that no one recognizes you, you're done. That is wind in my sails. I'm not kidding you. I am a pretty simple person. But that makes me so happy. Eric, do you have a favorite actor? Let's see. Off the top of my head, I think Tom Cruise is a terrific actor. Complete kook. Great actor. The usual suspects. DiCaprio, Pitt. I like Ben Affleck. I think he's very good. Matt Damon. Loved Robin Williams. He was a great actor. What a talented guy. Tom Hanks. Can't lose with Tom Hanks. Seriously, there are people that if they're in a movie, they're just awesome. Clooney. I like Clooney. Where the hell's he been? When's the last time you heard from Clooney? Jeff Bridges is a terrific actor. Robert Downey Jr. Ladies. Who do you like for the ladies? I don't know. I think there, I guess I don't like a lot of female actors or actresses. I'll have to think about that one. Eric also asks, where you'll watch anything that they're involved. Okay, there you go. Vice versa. Any actor you can't stand and avoid all of their movies or projects. Not really. I can't really think of anybody that I just can't stand. All right. Okay, looking for the questions. Brian, do you ever have dreams of people who have passed away and get really freaked out? Oh, yeah. I had a dream about Diana's dad not long ago. And man, as any father-in-law should, you got to give the son-in-law a lot of shit. And he was in the dream just murdering me about something. I woke up and I was so pissed. Oh, God. So, yes. He says, I had one about my boss who suddenly passed away. He came back in the office and was pissed that I took his job. All right. Adam. This is Adam, who is the big fan of the Rocky movies, who in the past 3 weeks, he has just taken a murdering, a pounding for his love of the Rocky films. It's been an ongoing thread. He's a good sport, by the way. Adam writes, how do you keep going and stay positive with all the ups and downs in radio? When on air, how do you keep the energy up when things off the air are tough, personal, or professional? Okay, first part of that. How do you keep going and stay positive with all the ups and downs in radio? Well, I mean, honestly, I look at radio now as gone, frankly. I've moved on from that. So I think that's what you mean. So I am very optimistic about what this is and what has come of it, because I know as time passes, if I do what I've done up to this point, it will continue to do well for me. But this is still a work in progress. I am learning new things all the damn time that are making this easier and easier and more effective. So I get very excited to, in any way, do what I do. So that's basically what keeps me going. But as for radio, I oftentimes look at it as an industry and shake my head because of, without getting too boring about it and making it sound like it's dead in the water, but it is definitely becoming a kind of a dinosaur in a lot of ways. That I don't care what. I mean, there's a lot of radio people that say no. It's like boy. I mean, go around. I mean, look around at the people who listen to you, and see what else gets their attention. Because if it's divided on various things like streaming movies, streaming music, podcasts, you're fighting for their attention. And that's much different than it was 10 to 15 years ago. So I'm very much energized by this setup, the current nature of this. When on air, I'm assuming he means podcasting. How do you keep the energy up when things off the air are tough, personal or professionally? The only thing that slows me down, honestly, is when there's just not a lot to, when I'm not feeling it like, oh God, I don't know how I'm going to be able to maintain any type of sense of keeping the content rolling. My energy might be low, or there's just not a lot going on, or I can't figure out what the hell to talk about. That's the only thing really. And that doesn't happen that often. There always seems to be something buzzing that I can talk about. I have just gotten to make it a real habit of mine to constantly be thinking about what to talk about on the podcast. So for 20 hours a day, I'm constantly like, okay, what am I going to do? What I can do this, I can do that, and that is enough to keep me focused, So that's never really been a problem. This is a great question. I'm so glad you brought this up, D. Torres, because I was just thinking about this yesterday. I'm really stoked about this. Has any thought been put into taking the podcast onto the stage for a live show? All right. Now, I need to look no further than my pal, Andy O'Reilly, who is just a juggernaut when it comes to shit like this. And I hope to God he's watching. If not, I want you to tell him that I am. Because Andy has a great setup for doing this, what we do, in front of people. And it's very much a possibility, and in fact, it is going to happen. And what I'm looking at is we're set up beautifully, because as we all are not around each other, there is going to come a day when we will be able to get together again and do what we do in our culture, and that is be in the same room with each other. Now, wouldn't it be fantastic on the day that we have finally put this crazy virus in the rearview mirror, that we can get together at a place and do a show? And I have all the usual suspects and my friends with me. We're playing games. There is nothing to hold us back from doing that. Okay. Not a damn thing. And I think that it's a good idea to use the time that we have now to come up with that, write it out. Bits, ideas, fun stuff. And you're all a big part of that. As you know, any idea that I've ever had on the podcast or live streaming or whatever it may be, most of them have been your idea. And I'm just an idiot who happens to be kind of like the ringleader of this bunch. This is not about me. It's about your brains telling me what you'd like to do. And then if I can get it done, I'll do it. So thank you very much. And if you have thoughts about what I can do on that show, you're all contributors. Don't think that when you send me something, it just fades away into oblivion. I see everything. And if you don't hear back from me, keep trying. It's because it's slipped my mind or something. So thank you, D. Torres, for bringing that up, because I've been wanting to talk about that. All right, where am I? Okay, you guys are rolling now. This is great. Kenny wrote, check my clarification on Kevin's question, Eric. I don't know what any of that means. So I'm not going to go back, because it's really difficult for me to do that. So if you want to ask me a question and I miss it, and send it again, that's the best way to do that. How does Diana or the kids react to you getting noticed when you're with them in public? Kevin wrote. They usually they've seen it a lot, so it's pretty laid back. I'm always excited about it, and I like to feel like when that happens, I feel, and they're with me, I'm like, I'm pretty stoked. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never gotten I've never taken that for granted. Every single time, it's been great. I just was in a store picking up those shingles. Well, prior to that, I went to another store and there was a dude that recognized me just yesterday. I was like, oh my God, or 2 days ago. It was incredible. Thank you. What is your go-to station on a music streaming device or service? Pandora, Spotify, etc. I love Spotify. I'm subscribed. $9.99 a month. After Zealand Lumber, did you stop at the sex shop downtown? No, it shut down. I should have thought to go over there. Eric, do you enjoy all the fan interactions, or are there some that just flat out annoy you? Nope. I like them all. All good. What kind of hokas do you use to run in? How's your gait? Overpronate, neutral, or supinate? I am neutral. If you were to look at the underside of my shoe, the Hoka 1-1, I think they're called, or the Bondi. Hoka 1-1 Bondi is what I think they're known as. Like some people, like they'll wear the heel, or they're more on the front foot, the tread will wear out on the toe box. I don't do any of that. You could look at a pair of my shoes, flip it over, and compare both shoes, and it doesn't even look like they're worn at all because I strike right on mid-foot, right on. And I learned to do that by doing like surges with no shoes on in grass. Run with no shoes on, and you will strike mid-foot. That is the way you're supposed to strike. You strike on your heel. It's a lot of stress on your knees and hips and back that you don't need. Dave says, can you put together an Eric Zane Show virtual 5K? God, yeah, I probably could, but I don't know if I have the know-how or the power or the time of the day. Eric, do you remember the first time someone recognized you? Yeah, I do. I remember I was in Midland, Michigan at a restaurant eating, and somebody walked up to me and asked for an autograph, and I was with I think my wife and another family member. They could not believe it. They were shocked, and I was shocked. I was like, what? Are you serious? All right. Let's see. Kenny is he's confusing me most of the time. Kenny, the problem with Ask Me Anything is sometimes the dialogue between all the people makes me think that they're talking to me. Rob writes, you didn't wear underwear for a while. What made you go back to wearing underwear? I don't know. I don't know why I wasn't wearing it, and I don't know why I went back to not to. I don't know why I was going with no underwear. I don't know why I did that, and I don't know why I went back. I have no idea. How old were you when you lost your virginity card? 18. I don't know why, but that sounds really old. Zaniacs, people on the live stream, if you dare so, write a number down, all right, for when you did. I'd be curious if you're comfortable with that. If you weren't under quarantine, what would you be doing today? This is going to sound pathetic, but this isn't what I'm doing now. Isn't really a lot different than what it has been since I got fired from BBL. The only thing different is I wouldn't be driving out to meet with potential clients to advertise in the podcast and going to the YMCA. That's it. So that's why I've been able to adapt to this so easily, because this is not that different than what I normally do. All right. If you were given all the materials, wood, screws, hammer, etc., what would you build? Boy, I don't know. I'll have to come back to that one. What's the one thing you've done in the last 48 hours to make someone's life better? I don't know. I don't really look at anything that I've done as making anybody's life better. Maybe, I don't know. I had Rich Mate from Grand River Signs on today for the small business shout out. And I've been doing that, and I maybe that makes someone's life better. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really. I guess I'm. Oh, well, I burned my neighbor's Christmas tree for him. There you go. Yeah, he was going to have to throw that damn thing out and break it all up, and I took it off of his hands. Of course, I wanted to burn it in my fire pit, but yeah, burnt up my neighbor's Christmas tree for him. Favorite movie quote? Oh God, I can't think of that right now. I don't know. Probably something from the Blues Brothers. I don't know. I have to think about that. What would you do if you took a big poop in a public bathroom only to notice that there's no toilet paper? Okay. All right, this is what I do. I'm in a public bathroom. There's no toilet paper. I'm in the stall. I have crapped. I stand up and my cheeks smash it all together. What's left over. That's not good. Nothing new for me. I've crapped my pants so many times. No big deal. I get up, I flush, I wash my hands, I walk out to a spot where there is napkins or anything, and then I go back into the bathroom. I wet a little bit of the napkins because now I actually have to take a kind of a bath and I go back into the toilet and sit back down and then resume and then take care of it that way. That's how I'd handle that. Steve writes, besides social distancing and whatnot, what do you think we can do to help each other during these weird times? Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe catch up on some phone calls with people. Some people are handling this better than others. Some people are really struggling with this. So I don't know. I mean, utilize that Zoom thing. Check on people. Keep the conversation fairly basic, I guess. Constantly stressing that this is going to end without focusing on anything too negative. These are things I try to do on the podcast with you. Shit. Let's see. Favorite state to visit? Any place you don't like to visit? I love all places I visit. Boy, it's a toss-up, man. I've really done well with all my stops. I'd love to go back. Hell, I went to Montana, and then 2 years later went back to Montana. That is, I mean, every place I've gone is like another world to me. I so love going to other places and just hanging out. With the camper, this is a plug for Terrytown. With a camper, you can go to a place and you don't really have to even spend any money when you get there. Okay, you got your food, and just sitting there is just being in another place is a freaking adventure to me. I just flat out love it. Montana was absolutely just a fantastic time. Utah was incredible. The drives are exciting because you're going over these elaborate mountain ranges and seeing all these places that seem like that you'd only read about, like Aspen and Vail and Breckenridge and Golden, Colorado, and seeing all the terrific different ecosystems as you travel them. And then as you get on the other side of the Rockies, you immediately notice how dry it is as you're in this desert, and then you're seeing signs. Fuel up now, no fuel for 100 miles or something like that. And the speed limit's like 80 or 85 miles an hour there because you're going to go 30 miles on a straightaway and not see another fucking car. You're expecting to see, like, the spaceships from Close Encounters to go buzzing by you any second. Absolutely outrageous. The thing to do. Even if you're taking a tent, I don't care. Just go. But the all-time favorite is Tennessee. I mean, Jesus, why do you think I got this over my shoulder because it was given to me, but It's one of my favorite things that I have is the state of Tennessee with the flag motif from the Tennessee Zaniacs. I mean, going back to the Smoky Mountains again this year. Fingers crossed. But no, there's not a place I don't like. When was the last time you beat your meat? Let's see. Who's watching this? Oh, I don't know. 48 hours ago. Bet you thought I wasn't going to answer that. Hold on a second. I got to put on these glasses. Let's see. Kenny wrote, Eric, Kevin asked twice how your family reacts to you being recognized, but both times you focused on how it made you feel. That doesn't surprise me. I think I eventually answered it, didn't I? They kind of just look at me and are happy, I guess. Nick. No, Steve, besides social distancing. What was it like working the Calder Cup finals and winning the championship? That was one of the 10 greatest things I've ever seen in my life. I'll tell you that right now. And I'll never forget frickin' Svechnikov left the bench about 3 seconds before the game was over. Very easily could have been called for too many men. He skated by the linesman who can call that penalty. It's the only penalty a linesman can call. He jumps off the bench and all the other morons follow him. And he goes skating by the linesman. There's at least 2 seconds by the time the linesman sees him. I couldn't believe it. He went ape shit and ran, and then they just rolled the clock. Well, Norm Kalenda was the one rolling the clock. God rest his soul. So Norman's like, fuck it, I'm not stopping it. They're not going to score. Horn sounds. That's it. That was, you got getting married. You got the birth of your children. That's right up there. It's not as paramount in my mind as those things, obviously, but outside of those things, it might be. I mean, it was so loud in that barn. Oh, my God. It was just fantastic. And then the guys brutalized the cup. Those dummies went out that night, and they beat the shit out of the cup. And so the next day, I go over to Coach's house. The story can be told now. And the cup is ruined. Like it's like it was broken and then they like put it back together. And I look, one of the idiots brings it over and I go, what did you do to this thing? I don't know. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It just happened. It's like everybody's still drunk from the night before. And so I take a picture of it. And the opening, if you look down at it, is supposed to be round. You know, the cup portion of it. It's like Stewie Griffin's head. It's that shape. What the fuck? I take this picture and I post it. And about 5 minutes later, the communications director for the hockey team, he calls me and goes, man, take that shit down. The league saw that and everybody's pissed off. That cup is, it's 100 years old. It's not, it's somebody ruined. They had no idea that it happened. So the league sees that the cup is ruined on my stupid post. And he goes, take that down. No, take that down. So that cup, they had to take and make a new cup. And because of that, there is strict rules about the cup now after that Calder Cup win. Oh, my God. Incredible. I still have the pictures, too. I should repost them. Okay. Oh, Kevin says, boo, no mention of Jersey. All right, I take it back. I love visiting Jersey City. Jersey City is a gem, okay? I haven't been back to the shore in forever, nor have I been in Central Jersey where I live. But Jersey City is a terrific place to visit. If you're into trendy shit, they got everything there. And you're, a freaking 10-minute ferry ride from New York City. Absolutely love it there. My wife even liked it, and she hates New Jersey for a reason that I cannot talk about. Hang on a second. I got to sneeze. I can feel it brewing. Hang on. Oh, my God. Absolutely fantastic. Eric, let's see. Nick writes, Eric, have you heard from the anonymous sex addict? The anonymous sex addict is a great soul, and I do hear from that person all the time. Good person. Hang on. Damn it. Sniffing's gross, and if I keep doing it, I'll sound like Dale and smarter than a former drug dealer trivia. All right. Hey, Zane. Hey, Zane. Yeah. Give me a sports question, Zane. Hey. All right. Kenny being listen to this. Kenny writes here. I hear Jersey's a great place to visit if you like trash. Yeah, that's right. A bunch of people die there. Yeah. Rob adding to that, Jersey is also a shithole if you end up in the wrong spot. Come on, guys. All right, now it's turned into a war between these guys talking about their states. All right, focus on me. I have a feeling this is winding down. Let me see if Melinda has anything that she'd like me to add. Have you ever been in a fist fight? Not in a long time. With whom and who won and why? No, it was a while. Dana at the cabinet shop beat me up. That's why my dad showed up there and beat him up. I was probably 17 years old. It was the last time I was in a fist fight. I think I've gone face to face with somebody, but nobody threw a punch since then. But no. What's the one thing that your listeners would be surprised to learn about you? Oh my God, that's really difficult because I share just about everything with you. I have touched on it before, but I am, to an absolute fault, incredibly insecure. I am not kidding you. It is debilitating how insecure I am. If the right things happen in the right order, I'm a mess. I'm just ruined. The end, I'm like, it's always worst case scenario, and I worry so much. In fact, it's not as bad as it used to be, but oh, what an insecure fucking idiot I am. If you would give your 20-year-old self advice, what would it be? Don't worry so much. Quit worrying. It's going to be all right. Not everything that you're thinking in your head is going to happen. In fact, most of it will never happen. That's what I would tell myself. I don't want this to end. I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying all of you. All right. Yeah, it's pretty much just falling apart. To all of these folks are now arguing with each other. Brian, Kenny are just, everybody's calling each other names, being rude to each other about their state. Come on, you guys. All right, I think that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. I got nothing more for you. Okay? But I want to thank you. You're a good group, a bunch of good eggs. Oh my God. Thanks for being part of the show. Thanks for giving me your time. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy anything that I do. Just trying my best. Trying to keep it fun. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you down the road. Thank you. Bye-bye.